Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have one of my original dream cars from when I was younger. I really like these for some reason back in the day. This is an '06 Bentley Continental Flying Spur. The OG. I've always wanted to check these out and even drive one, and I did drive it, and I'm going to tell you about how that was later. But let's see how the interior has held up. I always thought these things were so freaking cool, except when it doesn't open. Hold on, please. There we go. Also, these keys look pretty sick. Not a single problem back here with leg and headroom. I'm 6'2" and I can easily sit behind my seating position. Headroom's nice too. The only thing that sucks back here is because this car is a bit old and it has a full leather headliner, which, is awesome. It's got a sagging headliner, so a little bit of sagging back here. I mean, it happens to some of these cars. It's kind of normal, but it's still kind of unfortunate. But, you know what, whatever. I'll review it anyway. This car has about 58,000 miles, just so you know. Another thing that kind of sucks sometimes with these older cars is when you have wood, you sometimes get cracks. And it's a shame because I know Bentley goes quite a long mile to make their wood really nice, so that sucks. Anyway, let's get on with it, see how it does. And now for the final button. Guess it doesn't like the key. So we'll do it this way. Gotta go old school sometimes. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to keep this short and simple for you guys. The interior, considering how old this car is pretty good. However, it is not perfect. There were a couple little squeaks here and there, although very minor. The wood, the center console, all that was pretty solid, I would say. I mean, go ahead and watch the video back yourself. There were only a couple of minor things. The only things that are really getting on my nerves is there is some kind of squeak coming from over here when I drive the car and when I go over bumps, which is kind of odd, but you can definitely hear that on the video that I took of me driving the car. So that's going to be right now. That's pretty annoying. And the only other thing is the headliner in the back is sagging. Not the best fit and finish, but again, when this car, you know, is new, it's gonna have pretty good fit and finish in my book, at least with the headliner. So considering this car's age, I'd say it did pretty solid as far as fit and finish goes. Like, I wouldn't be upset, you know, except for this one thing down here. That would actually drive me crazy. Despite that, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 for fit and finish. It's still pretty strong. Materials are very similar to the 2014 Bentley that I did, albeit, you know, the screen is a little bit different. This one feels more Volkswagen Phaeton-y, I guess, than the other car. But it's all pretty similar, so let's talk about it. So basically all the material complaints that I have from Mercedes are absent in this car, which means that everything is leather. So your dash, your door, your pillars, like your A-pillar, your headliner and sun visor, all beautiful stitched leather. There is basically no crappy materials in here. Even, like, I'll show you this real quick. Even this little map pocket area where you can, like, stick something in here, this is all leather on the inside. It's like the inside of a shoe. I swear, it feels just like the inside of a shoe. Very nice. This little area by the hood release is also leather. It's just such good attention to detail. Even like this little side area by the seat controls, this is leather too. They just do such a good job. I'm going to turn on my massage seat while I'm in here. So much freaking leather, not to mention the gorgeous wood. Bentley has always done good with wood. This is no exception, except for the cracked stuff over here, but that's kind of out of their control. As you'd imagine, the seats are full real leather. The only thing that's missing on this car is the Bentley Flying Beast stitched in the headrest, but I suppose I can live without it. And as I mentioned, the headliner and sun visor are full stitched leather, and we have some beautiful bright work here for the hardware, which a lot of car companies like Mercedes, even in their My Box, they would just use plastic, but Bentley goes the extra mile. That's why you spend $200,000. And then the buttons and switchgear in this car are basically what you would find in a Phaeton as far as like the entertainment system goes and whatnot. Which to say, they're not bad buttons at all, but everything else is kind of nice and metallic. You know, everything that does look like metal is real metal. That's what they say. And I can definitely see that. Your window controls, these are like kind of a polished steel. They feel nice and cold to the touch. Your door handle, very solid. Paddle shifters, the air vents with the little organ pulls. Not to mention, there's knurling on everything. There's knurling here. If you get a Mulliner specification, this will have some knurling. Your heated and cooled seat controls have knurling. Even the parking brake button, this is solid metal. This is like basically shared with a Bugatti Veyron, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, when you spend double the money of an S-Class, you should get double the car. And materials-wise, you definitely do. I said this about the 2014. This is no exception. So materials, I'm going to give, just like I did the 2014, a 10 out of 10. I mean, you really can't get a whole lot better than this, if at all. So there you guys have it. The final score is going to be 8 out of 10 for fit and finish and 10 out of 10 for materials. Please let me know your thoughts. I never did a real test drive of one of these cars ever until today, and I've always wanted to drive a Flying Spur. How is it compared to the S-Class? I know I gotta know. Well, now I know, and here's what I have to tell you. I don't know if it's just this car or what the story is, but I had the air suspension in the softer setting, and it's not broken or anything like that. It's not sagging or not staying straight, but yeah, the ride is just a little bit crashier than what I would want. It's probably as stiff or maybe stiffer than my CLS, which is surprising. With that being said, it's not as plush as an S-Class, but it does handle, in my book, better than an S-Class. This is a heavy car. This thing weighs something like 5,500 pounds, thereabouts. It's heavier than the S-Class, but it drives lighter, I swear. Like even like the steering here, this is hydraulic steering, so it's going to naturally feel a bit heavier, a bit more weighty than, than a modern luxury car. But the way this car goes around corners, like you can confidently push this car around. You know what this reminds me of? It's kind of like a big Panamera, basically. This car reminds me of basically a Panamera with a nicer interior. It's a big car, but it's confident. It gives you some kind of confidence where you can push it around. You cannot tell that it weighs more than 5,000 pounds. An S-Class, you do have that kind of big boat sort of feeling when you really push hard on it. Not this. This one holds its own pretty good. So this is a good handling car. As far as like what I could compare it to, as far as big cars, like I said, the Panamera, the Cadillac CT6, interestingly, and the Jaguar XJ. I feel like this is probably the most similar to a Jaguar XJ. Just the steering is not really super sharp like the XJ, but it's okay. Doesn't need to be that sharp. And then, yeah, the power delivery is nice. I love the W12. Builds power. It's very drama-free. Like, you can tell on the speedometer you're accelerating pretty good, but it doesn't really give you that crazy push, at least not at already high speeds. You do feel the acceleration pretty good at low speeds or when you're just starting out, but when you kind of floor it, at 60, it's pretty drama-free. It doesn't climb up that much, but it feels stable. It feels very stable and secure. Like, I think this was the fastest four-door car at the time with a top speed of 195. I could definitely see this car going that fast and being confident about it. I believe it 100%. So I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to let you guys watch this video, and I'll try to make more. I'll see you next time. Peace.